yeah, okay, so this one. Okay, and I'm going to tell you a story today. This will be a very personal story. So if this was a movie, we could also add a note that it is based on real life events. And here is a typical structure of the story, what the story would need. And we will focus on some elements of the story first. So every story, of course, needs a protagonist. In this case, this is me. Hi. A couple of words about myself. I would say that I'm quite a happy person. I have a job, I have a family, but sometimes I also have moments of self-doubt, and that's when imposter syndrome kicks in. I believe this is quite a popular problem nowadays, right? Then what else is required for a story? Of course, it is a conflict. And a conflict can be internal, it can be between two people, it can be among several people in the whole society. And in our story, this is an internal conflict. What is it based on, you might ask? So I am an introverted person, and as I have mentioned, I have issues with self-confidence. But simultaneously, in future, I would like to inspire young ladies to join STEM and pursue a career in STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics field. And I think that to do so, I need to have a personal brand and to be a speaker at various conferences and similar events. So that's my conflict. And what else we need? We need some steps and series of events that could lead us to the resolution of the conflict. So let's see what actually happened. I like joining different development programs like mentoring and coaching programs because they usually bring some inspiration and motivation. And last year I had a very nice mentor from WBC. And during one of the sessions, we talked about my vision of the future life, what I want to be when I grow up and stuff like that. And that's actually when I understood that my self-confidence can be an obstacle on my road to public speaking. So my mentor suggested me to think like, what are the small steps, tiny little steps that I could do to start moving in the right direction. And I started thinking, what is the usual advice you get when practicing your public speech? It's usually practicing in front of your family, in front of your friends, because this is a place where you feel the most safe. This was actually very important to find a safe space for practicing. I did a quick research, and I also remembered the feedback one friend of mine had that helped her a lot. And I found an organization which seemed like a perfect match. This is an organization that actually helps people practice their public speaking skills and provides a positive atmosphere and mutual support. I guess some of you may be familiar with it. It's called Toastmasters. And they have regular meetings held in Krakow. So I did some check what the upcoming events were focused on. I selected some topic. And this is where we have a plot twist in our story. I never went there, at least for now. Because first of all, something happened, my plans changed, then the topic was not so interesting. And later I found something that actually seemed like an even better match for me. Here you can see the Houses of Parliament. And I promise it's not a random choice of a picture, although the building is really nice. We are going to talk about British Parliamentary Debate Club. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the rules, so I will try to quickly explain them. So to play around, you need 8 people. We divide them in 4 teams, And 2 teams represent the government and the other 2 represent the opposition. But even though the teams play on the same side, they are still competing against one another, because they are like 2 parties working in a coalition, but everyone has their own goal anyway. There is a judge present, or maybe more than one, and the judge actually makes notes and makes sure that the speeches do not exceed the time box. And of course, each meeting has a discussion topic. The interesting thing about this is that the topic and the partner you're playing with and the side you're playing on, all this information is shared 15 minutes before the actual start of the round. So you have quite a small amount of time to prepare your speech and also agree with your partner what you will be talking about. The topics, they can be quite different. They can relate to art, health, politics, economics, basically whatever. And it can also be a topic which you maybe never have thought about previously. Here are some examples. This house regrets that FBI has publicly shared the materials related to the life of Martin Luther King. This house prefers being an average person rather than a genius. This house, as a scientist, will destroy all the information related to artificial general intelligence. So the representatives of government and opposition deliver their speeches in turns. And it's also possible to ask questions, but only if the speaker allows that. So enough with the theory. Let's see what kind of benefits we can get from such events. First of all, small audience. As I mentioned, it's only 8 people and the judge. So if someone has an anxiety of speaking in front of a large group of people, this is helpful. Additionally, if you attend the meetings regularly, you start to know other people, and eventually you are speaking in front of familiar faces most of the time. But still, there can always be an element of surprise if someone new joins, and you need to learn cooperating with them as well. Opponent's perspective. First of all, it is possible that the side you're playing on and the line you need to defend does not meet your personal beliefs. So you need to imagine yourself in someone else's shoes. And what it also is nice here, while preparing your speech, you can start thinking what your opponents could say, how they would defend their line, and what tricky questions you could have for them. Beside that, you can also start anticipating what kind of questions you might get. And this actually helps you feel more confident about your speech because you feel more prepared. Of course, everyone is different, and it is not possible to think in advance of all the questions. And this is also nice because if you attend the meetings with an open mind, you can learn a lot about people and how people think and how different we are. Fast feedback. I'm not sure about the other clubs, but the one I'm speaking about is nice because in the end of the round, the judge basically provides information about our speeches. So he analyzes each speech and says what was nice, what could be improved. And even though it's a very subjective and opinion of only one person, but this person is an experienced debater himself, so it can be quite useful. Better claims. This is related to the previous one. So, for example, the feedback we might get is that, well, when you spoke about this argument, you didn't do a nice job proving it. You just throw a claim and that's it. That is not good enough. And if you start thinking about it and try to improve your skill in that, This helps you later deliver your thoughts in a way that it's easier to understand by many people. I believe that this is useful not only in public speaking, this is useful in any kind of discussion you might have in work or personal life. International activity. This is actually for people who like to challenge themselves. Because it is possible to join an international debate championship and join a competition and speak about different topics in front of people from various countries. And it's also a nice opportunity to practice speaking English, not discussing your project status or work-related situation. And new contacts. As each hobby club, this is a great place to meet people with similar interests. But not only that. Actually, during one of the meetings, there was a lady who seemed very interesting. It was nice to listen to her. But it was also weird to listen to her because she was using arguments that seemed somehow out of this world. I don't know. It was like she was speaking a foreign language to me, but I enjoyed listening to her. It turned out that she was a theater director and that she was planning to open a new studio which provides classes for adults. This is basically a moment in our story which we can treat a call for adventure. So I started following her on Instagram, and after several months, there was a new post on her page which actually informed that she was opening a new group that will provide theater courses for adults without previous experience. I decided to give it a try and signed up for a free class. I am not sure, I don't remember now what I was expecting, but definitely it wasn't the need to practice a backward roll or create a scenario and act it out in front of the rest of the group. This was really scary for me. Not the acrobatics, but the performance, I mean. Because normally I do not play charades with my friends. I'm very good at guessing what everyone is showing, and then as a punishment, you need to go up there and show something yourself. And that part I usually hate. So that was really scary. But overall, the atmosphere in the studio felt nice. So I decided that I will go and see what it brings for the next 2 or 3 months. And the first couple of weeks, probably, maybe a little bit longer, I really felt a lot of pressure in those classes. But gradually it started to disappear because I started to understand that even though I cannot do anything as good as other people can do, or they are just better at, I don't know, showing their emotions on stage. Everyone was there to learn, so everyone supported each other, and it was a nice feeling there. So after some time, I felt that I silenced my inner critic more and more, and that I'm more open to share my thoughts and suggest some scenarios for the scenes we might play out. So what exactly is happening in those classes, you might wonder? Well, basically a lot of things. It's not from our studio, but it's just some picture, random this time. So there is no short answer what's happening there, because each class is a bit different. But here are some examples of the exercise that we can have. So first of all, we definitely step out of our comfort zones a lot, because sometimes we have tasks like that. So now you have 15 minutes, you go out to the planty you stop a random person in the street and you start talking to them. You can discuss whatever you want, but you're not allowed to say that you have a task. So you talk and you try to understand that person's character. After that, you return to the studio, you have 10 minutes for the preparation, and then you play out a scene, how this person comes back home from work. You need to show what they do, how they behave, and how they act. The next thing we learn is cooperation with the partner. In most cases, the scenes are for 2 people or for more than 2 people. So it is really necessary to learn noticing the other person and to cooperate with them. Because it's very important to remember that even though our characters are in conflict on stage, in fact, we work together, so we need to communicate and cooperate. And it is possible to choose a different partner in a different class and practice cooperating with different kinds of people. Because in this group, the people are really different. We have people like from 18 to almost 40 years old, and they work in different areas. Someone works in IT, someone works in a restaurant, someone works in a warehouse but dreams of becoming an actor. So there is a lot to see and learn. And of course, improvisation. A lot of our exercises are focused on improvisation. For example, there can be a task when first the director tells everyone what is happening, where the scene is happening, and later participants join the scene, and each participant needs to bring a change of the surroundings or the situation, and everyone else needs to adapt to the change. Or, for example, there was a very interesting exercise in pairs where each partner had their own agenda, hidden agenda, that they didn't tell their partner what was about. But everyone had to pursue their own goals. So, for example, I had a task to make my partner carry me in his hands somewhere, doesn't matter where. And he had a task to make me scream at him. So he was trying to take out this emotion from me by saying, for example, "Oh, hey, I forgot to pick up your mom from the airport last week," or something like that. And I was trying to hug him or something to make him carry. So basically, you try different moves, you try different words, you try different actions, but you need to achieve your goal first, because that's when you win. Okay, and now let's see how all of that could help in our today's context. So first of all, improvisation techniques, they prepare you for the unknown, basically. And they increase the chance that when unexpected situation happens, you won't just freeze, you will be able to react somehow. Eye contact. You practice maintaining eye contact with a person or people on stage, and then you do the same during your public talk, maintaining eye contact with the audience. Voice and intonation. I'm sure that everyone has been to a talk or heard a speech where either the pitch of the voice or the speed of the talk was too fast or too slow. You don't want to be that person, that speaker. You want to practice managing your voice and intonation and make sure that your audience listens to you and also hears what you're saying. Breath and pronunciation. We have a lot of breathing exercises to practice either holding your breath or speaking on the go to make sure that you can pronounce your words clearly in different situations. And besides that, we also practice pronunciation itself to make sure that we just pronounce the words clearly. For that, we can make an exercise together. So we will first say a combination of words, for example, Brimberli, and then we will be changing vowels, Bremberle, Bramberla, Bromberlo, Brumburlu, Brimberli. So let's do it slowly, and you will repeat after me. Brimberli, Bremberle, Bramberla, Bromberlo, Brumburlu, Brimberli. Okay, you can also practice with different combinations like vdi, vtiki, or rli, rli, rli. That can be challenging, but it's also fun sometimes. And also regular practice. It is known that practice makes perfect, and practice makes you comfortable, more and more comfortable during your performances. And in most classes, we can perform either in front of our group or maybe in front of visitors from other groups as well. So after several months of those classes, we actually had to take, let's say, a student's exam. This is when we prepared some group scenes and also dramatic etudes in pairs. And we had the real performance on stage. This was done in Scena Berlin. It's quite a small theater in Podgorze. The audience consisted mostly of our relatives, our friends, and other students. But anyway, it was a performance in front of almost 80 people. And those are very nice memories, because later the director called us everyone by our name, and we had to step in front of the row and take a bow. It was really nice. So you might be wondering if this is the end of the story. No, it's not. A year later, I'm definitely several steps closer to my goal, but it's still ahead of me. So I'm currently on the next step. And the next step is my group and I, we are preparing a play. It's based on Shakespeare comedies. Each of us has our own part. We learn the text, and we even practice fencing. So stay tuned. Maybe next time I will tell you more about this. And in the end, a couple of words about myself. So my name is Yevheniia. I've been an expat for more than 9 years. I have quite a versatile work experience because I used to work in translation, I was teaching English, I did software testing, I did business analysis. Currently, I'm working as a product owner, but soon I will be switching to a combined role, product owner and product manager. And for future, I'm also considering taking coaching studies. You already know what I do after work, but I also engage in cool initiatives in Motorola. So I will promote them here. So for example, patent days. These are brainstorming events for the patents. We have them 2-3 times a year, so please stay tuned and join the next one. I'm a part of Yevheniia committee. This is the representation of Society of Women Engineers in our part of the world. And we are also preparing some interesting news there. I'm a part of WBC, and under the WBC, I've organized a parents club. Currently, it's basically a mom's club for now, but we're planning to add dads as well. So please feel free to let me know if you would be interested. This is basically a regular meeting, a monthly meeting to discuss challenges we face with parenting. And as a closing note, I would like to thank you for listening. And I want to encourage you to look for new interesting things in your life. And I challenge you to take a step out of your comfort zone and see the magic that is outside of it. Thank you.